Hey guys, this week I was talking a lot about joy, and I'm going to continue to talk a lot about joy this week. And so this is just my moment to kind of come in and create this how do I find joy kind of space, right? How do we go out and seek for joy? I just want to give you a couple of real practical things, right? Just a couple things that will help us to attach to this idea of joy and then hopefully find joy infiltrating into our world so that then we can not just have joy and be fulfilled by joy, but also be able to share in joy. And I think that's one of the things that I love about just this concept of joy. When I think about joy, it's much more than this moment of happiness. Happiness is an instant gratification kind of thing. But joy, man, joy is a little bit bigger than that. Joy has a tinge of eternal. It has a tinge of infinite, right? This idea of joy has more of a constant. I can't really, it's like energy, right? It cannot be created or destroyed. It can only be transferred. To me, joy is in that same vein. Joy cannot be created or destroyed. It just is, and we get to tap into it. And so, how do we go find joy? Here's the most simple thing that I could say to you to help you look at and find joy. Practice gratitude. There's something about that string of joy that weaves itself into gratitude. And everybody's talking about gratitude these days. This seems to be a very common place for us to be able to get into a mindset. I even speak on gratitude a ton. But here's a reason why I would say get into the practice of gratitude to find joy. Because once we get into the practice of gratitude, if we're truly speaking in a grateful space, right? If we're really actually journaling from a grateful space, we can't just say what is the object of our gratitude. We actually have to speak why there is gratitude within this object. And so, or person, whatever that may be, when I find that moment of gratitude, essentially I'm drawing a vein of joy into it. Think about this. If I'm looking at my space, right? And I go in and I say, well, I am grateful for my spouse. And here's all the reasons why I'm grateful for my spouse. If you think about that moment, maybe you've even done this, as I begin to list out all of those whys are much more important and much bigger than just a descriptor. Those reasons are the ways in which somebody or something is fulfilling me. And joy tends to have that same kind of fulfillment vein. And so if I'm connecting a why, more than likely I'm speaking from a space of how do I feel? How am I filled up by the presence of somebody who I'm grateful for, or the presence of something for which I am grateful? And so if I'm doing that, then what I'm truly doing is I'm practicing a space where joy tends to weave itself into the making. And so that's my goal for you guys. That's my quest, my question, my reaction to this search for joy. Write out the gratitude. When I start writing out gratitude, I'm actually digging into the space of joy. I'm actually digging into how joy can come into my life because I'm speaking from a space of those people, those objects, those things, the grateful why. Those are those moments that fill me up. And those are truly the building blocks of joy. Gratitude is a building block of joy. Go find gratitude, and I promise you, joy is right around the corner.